Hi, I'm Dr. Jake, principal at LeadAZ Private School. Well, if you haven't heard the news, Leadership Society of Arizona is starting our own school this August in Tempe, Arizona. We couldn't be more excited about the future. Ever since the beginning of LSA, we've been talking about starting our own school because we want to create a new approach to the traditional education. See, in traditional education, students learn a lot of valuable information, but they focus on two key skills: memorization and test taking. Now, these skills are very valuable, but when those are the main focus of an education, students tend to become reactive. They have to be told what to learn, how to learn, and when to act. But those aren't necessarily the skills we want in future employees. We want to create a school that helps kids be proactive, accountable, and creative, because those are going to be the most important skills in the future when students not only have to compete with other employees, but also with technology, computers, and artificial intelligence. So if you want to know more about LeadAZ and how we're approaching this, visit our website, school.leadaz.org, for more info. So I wanted to create this video because many people have asked us how they can support this school. Your support not only helps the students who attend LeadAZ, but it also supports our mission and our effort. We're hoping that this school can be a stepping stone. We want to expand to other grades, and we want to share our findings and curricula with the world. There are three key ways that you can support LeadAZ. The first is we welcome volunteers to our campus. If you're interested in spending time on campus or volunteering in any way, email us, admin@leadaz.org, and we'll get you information. Second, one of the things I'm most excited about is we want to be really involved in the community. And what that means is we want to bring students on lots of field trips, meet lots of community members, and we also want to bring in experts to our school. Any tutors or people with specific skills that they would like to teach students. Things like music lessons, cooking, woodworking, computer programming, anything. So if you have something that you think students would benefit from or key skills you would like to teach, reach out to us, admin@leadaz.org, and we'll get you involved. Now, the last and biggest support that you can give to our school is through tax credit donations. And that's what I want to focus the rest of this video on. So first, I want to talk about what is a tax credit. Now, if you're pretty familiar with tax credits, you can skip ahead. You can look down on the timeline in this video, and it's separated into chapters, and you can skip ahead to how to contribute to LeadAZ. If this is the first time that you've heard about an Arizona tax credit, it's a really great thing that the state of Arizona does. Essentially, you can use a tax credit to give money to a public school, a private school, or a charitable organization. Now, Arizona has separate tax credits for each one of those organizations, so you can actually contribute to all three different ones. Now, what a tax credit is essentially you're telling the state, I want to reroute my state taxes to this organization. And the way it works is you make a financial contribution before you file your taxes. Then when you file your taxes, you include your contribution receipt, and when you receive your tax refund, the state will give you a dollar-for-dollar amount for your contribution. This means if you gave $600 to a school, the state will give you $600 back. So it's no cost to you. It's just a little bit of documentation effort. So now I'd like to talk about how you can make a tax credit contribution. The first step is you need to find out what your state tax liability is. This just means how much you owe in state taxes for this year. The easiest way to find this out is if you have a tax professional, just ask them and they'll be able to give you the information. Let them know that you want to make a tax credit contribution and they'll understand it. The second way is if you file your own taxes using a software like TurboTax, what you're going to do is fill out your taxes. Don't submit your return, but when you're all done completing your taxes, your software should be able to tell you how much you owe to the state. If you can't find it, then look for Form 440 and it'll tell you exactly how much you owe. Step 2 is making the contribution. When you make a tax credit contribution to a school, schools partner with what's called an STO, Student Tuition Organization. All of the tax credits go to this organization and they create what's essentially a scholarship fund for the students. So any students who go there can receive some of these tax credits to help with their tuition payments. This makes it so that anybody can attend the school, not only people from a certain financial background, but even those from disadvantaged communities. Our partner is STO for Kids. They're a great STO that works with lots of different schools and organizations in Arizona. So you're going to get a link to this website, and this is where you contribute. You can either click on this Contribute Now, or you can scroll all the way down to this form. And what's important to know is that in Arizona, there's a max contribution you can make for private schools. If you're filing a joint return, your maximum contribution is $2,483. If you're filing a single return, your maximum contribution is $1,243. So now I'm going to give you a few different examples of how to contribute depending on what your tax liability is. So let's assume that you owe $5,000 in state taxes. This means you can make the max contribution. So let's say you're filing jointly. What you're going to do is in this form, you're going to fill out your basic information. Social Security number, last 4 digits, is optional. Scroll down here, make sure you put your filing status. This will more than likely be your first contribution to an STO, so put, yes, this is my first. Make sure you're claiming your tax credit for 2022. Even if you've already filed your taxes for 2022, reach out to us by email and we'll give you more information on how you can do this, but it's usually best to put in 2022. If you want to make a contribution in advance for 2023, you can do that as well. Let us know if you have questions. So now let's go on to the first part. In Section A, since you're going to make the max contribution, you're going to put the maximum number here. This is going to be $1,245. Then you're going to go here to the private school name, and this is very important. Make sure you click on this list and you scroll down to LeadAZ Private School and select that. If you don't select it, then your contribution is just going to go to a general pot at STO for Kids. So it's very important that you route it to our school. Now, if you have a specific student that you would like to make the contribution for, you can go ahead and put their full name in this box here. It's important to know, parents, if your child goes to our school, you cannot make a tax credit contribution for your own child. It's also against the law to swap tax credits. So you can't go to another parent at the school and say, hey, we'll contribute to your child if you contribute to ours. The best thing to do, parents, is if you're going to make a tax credit contribution, just send it into the general pot and we will make sure that it's distributed to the people in need. So let's go on to the second part, Part B. Since you're making the max contribution, you're also going to select the max amount here. Make sure you put the school and the student's name if it's there. You can skip Section C. That's just if you want to make an additional charitable donation, but this isn't a tax credit, so you can skip that part. Now this is important. Down at the bottom, it's going to give you your final contribution amount. Make sure to verify that that's the amount that you want to contribute. Since you're doing the max, $2,483, that's correct. Verify the date, fill out the CAPTCHA, and go on to complete the payment. Now let's say that you're going to contribute $1,500. You're going to fill out the first part, just the same as before. Make sure you put 2022. But now in the first section, Section A, you're going to put the maximum amount, the school name, the kid's name, but it's going to get different in Section B. You're not doing the maximum amount here, so now you're going to click Other. We're going to do a little bit of math here. So you want to contribute $1,500. In Part A, you put $1,245. So the difference is $255. That means in Part B, you're going to type in $255, choose the school, the student's name if you have any, scroll all the way to the bottom and verify $1,500 is the amount you want to contribute. You can go ahead and complete the payment there. Now let's assume that you're going to contribute $500. Fill out the first part just the same, 2022 for the tax credit year, but Section A is going to be where it's different. You're not contributing the maximum amount, you're only doing $500. You put the amount there because it's less than that $1,245. Student's name, school name. Now for Section B, you're not going to put anything. You're just going to leave it blank. Scroll all the way down, make sure the correct amount, $500, submit, and you're good to go. Now on to the third and final step, documentation. Once you fill out your contribution, you're going to receive a receipt from STO for Kids that's going to look a lot like this. It'll have your name, how much you contributed, the date, and a little bit of instructions for how to log this information. What you're going to do is you're going to save this receipt for your files. This is what you're going to use when you submit your taxes to make sure you get your contribution back. You can send this to your tax professional or just save it and use it in your software. What you're also going to do is once you get this email, forward it to us, admin@leadaz.org. We ask that everybody forwards us their receipts just so we can verify all of the contributions that get sent to us. We want to do this just in case there's a mistake with the form or any of the contributions get rerouted. We want to make sure that every dollar you're contributing to our school goes to our students. Once again, we want to thank you so much. We really appreciate your support. And our school would not be possible without all of the contributions, because our goal is to give a really high quality education to all students, regardless of whether or not they can afford it. If you want to know more about our school, or if you want to find out more ways to participate, reach out to us and we'd love to get you involved. Thank you.